Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to see you here today. In this video, we are going to learn English with a special technique called shadowing. Now, you might be wondering, what is shadowing? Let me explain. Shadowing is when you listen to someone speaking in English and try to repeat what they say, exactly how they say it. It helps you improve your pronunciation, intonation, and even your listening skills. It's like being a shadow, following every move. Here's how you can use this video to practice. First, listen to me as I read a story. All the words will appear on the screen so you can follow along. Then, try repeating after me, copying my tone and rhythm. It's okay if you don't get it perfect the first time. Practice makes progress. Before we begin, I want to tell you why I chose this story. It's something I heard recently, and I thought it would be perfect to share with you because it's both interesting and useful. Today's story is about Sarah, a young woman who traveled to the United States for the first time. The story is written in clear, easy English, so you can focus on understanding the words and practicing your speaking. Here's what we'll do. I'll read the story slowly and clearly, and you can follow the words on the screen. Later, you'll have a chance to repeat the sentences with me. This is a great way to practice your listening, speaking, and even reading skills, all at the same time. Are you ready to hear Sarah's story? Let's begin. This is the story. I am at the airport right now, and I feel so excited. Today is the day I am flying to New York City for the first time. I have my ticket, my passport, and my bags. Everything is ready. I arrive at the check-in desk and hand my ticket to the lady. She smiles and says, "Here is your boarding pass. You are in seat 17A. Have a good flight." "Thank you," I say. "A window seat. Perfect. I love looking out of the window when I fly." I go through security, and it takes forever. The line is so long, but I finally get through. Now, I am at gate 23, waiting to board my flight. After some time, I hear the announcement, "Flight 567 to New York is now boarding. Please line up by group number." My heart races. This is it. I get on the plane and walk down the aisle, looking for my seat 17A. When I reach my row, I stop. Someone is sitting in my seat. It is a man in a blue jacket, and he is looking out of the window. I feel nervous, but I say, "Excuse me, sir, this is my seat." He looks at me, surprised. "Oh," he says, "are you sure? Let me check my ticket." He pulls out his ticket and looks at it. He says, "My ticket says 17A. I think this is my seat." Now I am confused. I pull out my ticket and show it to him. "See, my ticket says 17A, I say confidently. He looks at my ticket, then looks at me. He smiles kindly and says, "Okay, no problem. You can take the seat. I'll sit in the middle." I feel a little bad, but I really want the window seat. "Thank you," I say as I sit down. The plane takes off, and I look out the window. The clouds are so beautiful. I feel happy and relaxed. Now, the man next to me starts a conversation. "Are you going to New York for vacation?" he asks. "Yes," I say. "It's my first time. I want to see Times Square and the Statue of Liberty." "That's great," he says. I live in New York. You'll love it. It's a busy city, but it's full of life. As we talk, I notice something strange. He doesn't seem upset about losing the window seat. He is calm and even friendly. After a while, the flight attendant comes by. She looks at me and then at the man. "Excuse me," she says, "but I think there's been a mistake." I freeze. "What mistake?" I ask. The flight attendant looks at my ticket, then she looks at the seat numbers. "You are in the wrong seat," she says. "What?" I ask, confused. "The seat is 17A, and it belongs to this gentleman," she explains. "Your seat is actually 17C, the aisle seat." My face turns red. I look at the man, and he just smiles. "It's okay," he says. "I don't mind the middle seat." I feel so embarrassed. All this time, I thought I was right, but I was wrong. I should have been sitting in the aisle seat. "I'm so sorry," I say to him. "You were right all along." "Don't worry about it," he says with a laugh. "Mistakes happen." For the rest of the flight, I can't stop thinking about how kind he is. He didn't argue or get upset. He just smiled and let me have the seat. As the plane lands, I thank him again. "You are very kind," I say. He just laughs and says, "Enjoy New York, and next time, double-check your ticket." When I leave the plane, I feel a mix of emotions: embarrassment, gratitude, and relief. This trip is already teaching me something important. Sometimes it's okay to admit when you're wrong. So, what can we learn from Sarah's story? First, always double-check your ticket. It's a simple step, but it can save you from a lot of confusion. Mistakes like sitting in the wrong seat are easy to make, especially when we're feeling excited or nervous. But here's the most important lesson: mistakes are okay. Sarah thought she was right, but she wasn't. Instead of getting upset, the man showed kindness and patience. This teaches us that being kind to others, even in small situations, can make a big difference. Learning English is just like this journey. Sometimes we make mistakes, and that's okay. Mistakes help us learn and grow. The important thing is to keep trying and stay positive. Every small step you take in learning English is a step closer to reaching your goals. First day in New York. Sarah wakes up early the next morning. She feels very excited because today she will see New York City for the first time. She gets out of bed and looks outside. The sky is blue and the sun is shining. This is going to be a great day, she thinks. After a quick breakfast, Sarah gets ready. She puts on comfortable shoes because she knows she will walk a lot. She grabs her camera, her map, and her notebook. "I want to remember everything I see today," she says. Sarah leaves her hotel and walks down the busy street. There are many people, cars, and buses. The noise is loud, but Sarah likes it. She feels like she is in the middle of something big. She walks toward her first stop, Times Square. When Sarah arrives, she is amazed. There are so many lights, big screens, and people. The buildings are huge. Sarah stops to take a picture. "Wow, it's even bigger than I thought," she says. She looks at the bright screens showing ads and videos. Some people are taking pictures, while others are walking around quickly. Sarah decides to walk through the area and see more. She sees many shops, restaurants, and theaters. She is excited to be in such a famous place. As she walks, she notices a man standing near the red steps. He is taking pictures of Times Square, too. Sarah walks up to him and says, "Hi, can I take a picture of you with the red steps?" The man smiles and agrees. Sarah takes a picture of him and then asks, "Where are you from?" The man replies, "I'm from Brazil. I came to New York to see the city and meet new people." "That's so cool," Sarah says. "I'm from a small town, and this is my first time in New York. It's amazing." They talk for a few more minutes, and Sarah learns that the man's name is Carlos. He tells her about some places she should visit in the city, like the Empire State Building and Central Park. "You should also visit the museums," Carlos says. "They are some of the best in the world." Sarah writes down the suggestions in her notebook. "Thanks, Carlos. I will visit those places," she says. After saying goodbye to Carlos, Sarah continues walking through Times Square. She enjoys looking at the stores and taking pictures of the big signs. After some time, she starts to feel hungry. It's time for lunch, she thinks. She looks around and finds a small cafe. She walks inside and orders a sandwich and a drink. While eating, Sarah thinks about what she has seen so far. "New York is so different from home," she says. "There are so many people and everything is fast, but it's also exciting." After lunch, Sarah decides to visit Central Park. She takes the subway to the park, excited to see more of the city. The subway is crowded, but Sarah doesn't mind. She sits down and looks out the window as the train moves through the city. When Sarah arrives at Central Park, she is surprised by how big it is. There are so many trees and flowers. People are walking, jogging, and riding bikes. Sarah takes a deep breath and enjoys the fresh air. She walks along one of the paths and sees a small lake. Some people are riding boats on the water, and others are relaxing by the shore. "I love this park," Sarah says out loud. She sits on a bench and takes a rest. She watches the people around her. Some are reading books, others are playing music, and some are talking with friends. Sarah feels calm and happy here. After sitting for a while, Sarah decides to walk around more. She visits the zoo inside Central Park. There are many animals, including bears, monkeys, and birds. Sarah enjoys seeing all the animals. "I can't believe there's a zoo in the middle of the city," she says. As the afternoon goes by, Sarah starts to feel tired. She decides to head back to her hotel. On the way, she sees a small ice cream truck and stops to buy some ice cream. "This is the perfect way to end my day," she says with a smile. When Sarah gets back to her hotel, she takes a shower and relaxes. She thinks about everything she saw and did today. "It was a wonderful day," she says. "I can't wait to see more of New York tomorrow." Before going to bed, Sarah writes in her notebook, "Today I saw Times Square, Central Park, and the zoo. I met a new friend, Carlos, who gave me some great tips for my trip. I'm learning a lot, and I'm so happy to be here." Sarah closes her notebook and turns off the light. She is tired but excited for the next day. I'll visit more places tomorrow. There's so much to see in New York, she thinks, smiling as she falls asleep.